Hey, this is Donita from L7, and you're listening to Dennis Gray on Australian Rock Show.
Hey everyone, it's Dennis Gray from the Rockin' and Rollin' Gray Brothers. Show number 65 of the Australian Rock Show. It's Friday the 30th of September 2016 when we're recording this show. The mighty L7 reunited and reignited hit Australia next week for a run of shows around the country. I've seen L7 a bunch of times over the years. Love L7. And last Saturday, it was my great pleasure to chat with Donita Sparks. Folks, we'll get to that in a bit, but before we do, you know it, let's get warmed up by cranking one of my all-time favourite L7 tunes. In a self-destructive blitz, let's hear Death Wish.
Hello, Dennis.
Hi, Donita. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very well. It's so great to chat with you. You know, I interviewed Susie after the live Omaha to Osaka record was released, so we've got some ground to cover in a quick space of time. So, listen, I've been doing some math, and I saw you here in Sydney in 1992 with the Cosmic Psychos, 1995, same venue, 98 with the Tea Party. Is this tour number 4 down under?
I believe so. I think in 95 we also did Alternative Nation festivals.
Correct.
And we did some, in 97 we did, we did some festivals, I know, with Primus and Jesus Lizard. But yes, I believe this will be our 4th time. I'm kind of a blur, but I think so.
So what are your memories of that first tour way back in 92? I guess you were riding the Pretend We're Dead wave the world over at that time, right?
We were indeed. It was our first time down there. We also went to New Zealand at the same time. It was really great. It reminded me, I think Sydney reminded me of Vancouver. Canada, and because it's on the water and it's gorgeous, and I don't know, I just remember the wildlife. And we went out to Ross from the Cosmic Psychos farm, which was really fun, and we had a great time.
Okay, so you did get to see some of the country, because a lot of touring bands just it's airport and airport. So
yeah, we got out in the country. We saw some beautiful trees on his farm, and got to ride some mini bikes, and it was really fun.
Nice. Look, let me state right off the bat that I've always personally disliked how L7 were and still labelled grunge. I just saw you and I've always seen you as a great rock band. That term definitely wasn't around when you guys kicked off. I guess you're more than okay now being filed under the grunge banner now? I am fine to hashtag us any fucking thing that keeps us alive. So it's like, sure.
Hashtag us grunge, hashtag us tampon, hashtag us, drop your pants, hashtag us riot girl. I don't care. Just like hashtag us something. Because I'll tell you, in the time that we were gone, there was, the internet really exploded, and, there was very little trace of us on the internet. I think there was one article of us on the internet, and that was dismaying to me, because I, not only for my own ego, but also like, God, young people should know about us,
Absolutely.
And young people were so then attached to the internet. I was like, shit, man, young girls should know about us. Like we're good role models, even though we're wild and everything. Like we're a good example,
Sure.
for young people, so I'm glad that this whole thing has kind of happened,
So the band have been back together for a year or so. I'm guessing yourself and the other ladies in L7 are having a ton of fun. How does it feel to be out doing it again, after quite a bit of time had elapsed? I'm talking band-wise, not your solo stuff.
It feels really fun. I think we're in a place of gratitude and appreciation for everyone who comes to the shows. Some of us are older now, some of us, and then there's a whole new crop of people. So, we appreciate the young people checking us out. We appreciate the older people, like, leaving the house to come out to a rock show, because I know that can get harder and harder as you get older. You just kind of lose interest in these things, So,
well,
we're very appreciative.
Some of us always fly the flag, and I guess so. Had enough time had passed, and it just felt right to do it all again.
It did. I mean, we had a booking agent in the United States who called me out of the blue and said, "Can I submit you guys for festivals?" And I said, "We haven't been we haven't been a band." And she said, "There's interest." And I said, "Shit. Okay, I guess I'll call everybody." And so I did. Normally that's kind of a manager's job to do that, but we didn't have a manager at the time. We've got kind of a helper now, but yeah, it was just kind of the right time to do it. And I thought if we waited any longer, it was definitely not going to happen. So it was kind of, I gave everybody 9 months to think about it, and told them I'd call them in 9 months. And then they all said yes.
As you just mentioned, I guess you're now playing for a whole generation of kids who were not even born, some of them during the big early 90s reign, yet they've waited to hear L7 live, which is, very, very cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness for social media, and thank goodness for the internet, because that, like I said, when we were kind of absent from the web, over the years, I saw people starting to post things on YouTube and starting to start fan pages, and it just grew, and by the time we started our own Facebook page, it kind of exploded with excitement, and there were all these demands for a reunion, even though that was not the intention at all when I started the Facebook page. It was just to archive our shit, So, and then seeing the enthusiasm was just very, very heartwarming to all of us.
Now, I think I saw you at another couple of gigs, which I want to mention. 1996 in Scottsdale, Arizona with D-Gen, which was a great night, and 1994 at the Astoria in London when Hungry for Stink had just come out. But I'm getting off track. Donita, let me run something by you. With songs like Drama, Bad Things and Off the Wagon, among others, that 1997 album, The Beauty Process, is a really solid record, and I think that album should have done bigger things. Do you think it was just released at the wrong time? I mean, it was a weird time for music and rock and roll in general, Well, first, I'll agree with you about that record. I think it's my favorite L7 record. We got dropped on that record. So They didn't even do a video for that record. London Records dropped us first, and then Warner Brothers dropped us. So I think it was a weird time. I think, grunge was kind of dying off. I don't know. Jennifer had left the band. It was a weird time, and we had switched managers, and I highly suspect something weird went down with that, because I've never talked about this, but our original manager was very tight with London Records, and when we got rid of him, I think something weird went down. But that's just my gut on it, which I kind of realized years after the fact. Like, oh shit, I wonder if firing what's his name had to do with that, So it's very possible. But yeah, I thought it was a good record too, and we got dropped on that record. I encourage kids, after they finish listening to this interview, to go and check out The Beauty Process, because it's a fantastic album. Look, a couple of random questions before we get out of here. Is there anything from that first L7 album included in the live set? Personally, I'd like to hear something like Let's Rock, which I've always loved.
God bless you.
Thank you.
There's nothing in the set from that record, from our first record, but somebody in, where was it? Somebody in Belgium screamed out Uncle Bob the other night, which is on that record, and we actually played Uncle Bob. So that was kind of funny. And so it's not currently in the set, but if somebody yells out Uncle Bob, we'll do it for you.
Listen, besides the mighty Runaways, who are your favourite all-girl outfits?
I didn't grow up with the Runaways. I don't have any Runaways records. I like Joan Jett a lot. To be honest, I am not that exposed to the Runaways. My heroes didn't really have a gender attached to them. I loved the Ramones. I loved Blondie. I loved the Rolling Stones, B-52s, that kind of stuff. Catchy, good rock. I like.
Sure. Donita, future plans for next year? Will you head into the studio and do a new album? I think L7 could do a heavy uptake of Fly, Feather, Fly, maybe.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I like that one too. No, I don't think we'll be doing any of my solo stuff, but we've been jamming some cool shit at our sound checks, which is really weird. Like Dee will just start playing the drums and then we'll start on weird shit. And I've been recording that on my iPhone just to remember it. So who knows? Maybe after Australia, we'll kind of talk seriously about making some new music, but no promises because I don't know if that's going to happen. It really we all have to feel it or not. So we're either all in or we're not.
Where and when did your connection with the Cosmic Psychos begin?
I got a stack of records from Sub Pop when we got signed to Sub Pop, and one of them, and I didn't listen to any of them, I don't think. I think maybe I listened to Bleach, Nirvana's record, and then I was listening to college radio and they played Lost Cause by the Cosmic Psychos. And they said who it was. And I was like, shit, I think Sub Pop sent me that record. And so I indeed had Go the Hack on my desk. So that was the first time I heard them. And then we sort of ran into them in Europe on our first European tour. We were writing notes to each other on each other's posters.
That's how we used to do it before email. Before you run, the Rock for Choice shows, which L7 set up and ran, I think, for about a decade. Why do you think younger bands today aren't, setting up their own benefits and getting off their asses and doing that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I mean, are any bands doing stuff? I don't really know. I can't follow it. I'm not seeing it either. I mean, I don't follow it. I don't follow things really closely. I don't even follow the music business very closely. So I don't know, but it's not like I've seen any sort of media blitz about some cool benefit concert series happening, So I don't know. I don't know, but I think that they should. Because people keep asking me if we're going to do a fucking Rock for Choice show. And it's like, hey, we put in our time,
Yeah. Get the youngins to do it.
Come on, youngins. That's right. Step up. Step up.
Donita, every guest on our show gets to choose a song by an Australian band, something which you really, really like. What would you like to choose and why?
I want to hear Go the Hack by the Cosmic Psychos. And I want to hear it because I really like the lyrics.
Thanks for your time today.
Rocks.
Yeah, for Donita Sparks, that was, of course, the Cosmic Psychos from 1989 with the wonderful Go the Hack. Hope you all got something out of that interview with Donita. I've been an L7 fan for a long, long time. In my opinion, the real rock and roll deal, and they never fail to deliver in the live environment. So do not miss out on seeing them live when they jet back down under starting next week. Thursday the 6th of October, they're on in Perth at the Capitol. Friday the 7th of October, they're on at the Gov in Adelaide. A couple of Melbourne shows. Tuesday the 11th of October at 170 Russell, which is sold out. Next night, same venue, 170 Russell. That's Wednesday the 12th of October. Friday the 14th of October, they're on in Brisbane at Eaton's Hill Hotel. Saturday the 15th of October, they rock Sydney at the Metro Theatre. Get tickets for all shows at metropolistouring.com/L7 or at the venues. Also, be sure to check out the official L7 website at l7theband.com. Okay, folks, time to get out of here. You can contact us via email, australianrockshow@gmail.com. Visit our website at australianrockshow.com. All the past episodes are there, totally free. You can also hear the Australian Rock Show, Ozrock's loudest and proudest rock and roll podcast, via iTunes, Stitcher and TuneIn. Please take time out to leave us a show review. We need more of those. And also share the shows around on social media, please. Thanks again for listening, folks. Let's close out with some more L7. And you know the drill by now. If you're listening in whilst driving, turn the volume up and roll the window down so you can educate others. Here are L7 with Crackpot Baby. This is Dennis. Out.